Dave and I went down to the States a few weeks ago, went to Minneapolis, and we saw one of our favorite bands and a band that's been on our bucket list for a while. And through all that, we got a chance to go do some really cool stuff. And just for the record, the band that we seen was Arch Enemy. It's definitely heavier music, but that's kind of stuff Dave and I are into. So we got to check a few things off our bucket list on that trip. We went down there, got to see those guys in concert, which was amazing. We went to Thorne Brothers, did that behind the scenes video with Lonnie, which you guys have already seen on the channel. Huge thank you to Lonnie and the owners and staff at Thorne for allowing us to have just full access behind the scenes there. That was amazing. Our next stop was down to see Duff at Supernatural, and that was really cool. A noisy shop, big echoey shop, so it was a little bit tricky to record in there, but that video turned out really cool, and it was cool to just, again, go behind the scenes with Duff. Earlier in our trip, we stopped and talked to Jeff at Musky Bumper, and most of you who follow us on socials have probably seen the clips of the few custom boards that he did for us. I'll include those here for you guys that haven't. But we picked up a box of stuff in Minneapolis at my buddy Matt's, and a lot of stuff I get shipped there because it's easier just to ship it within the States, and then we just bring it up. And it's not a conventional box. Matt put it in a plain old box. And I just thought, we got home, we had a few packages in the mail here, got a bunch of different baits. I wanted to give you guys a quick look at a few of these baits. It's too early here yet to really do any underwater footage. Our home lake is still iced up as of today's recording. So in the next few weeks, I'll get all these baits in the water and start kind of including some underwater footage. But the first couple that I want to talk about are the Rusty's Customs, and I've kind of teased a few pictures of this one, and this is his 6-sucker, 6-inch 6-sucker, and this is what he calls Icebergy Sunset Jailbird. Just a cool looking pattern. I know he's already got messages, guys wanting to get a bait done in this pattern. I haven't had one of his 6-suckers yet. I think just looking at what like Brian Scaife has done with it, Stone, it's obviously it's going to work. I know that Rusty says you got to work it a little bit gently compared to some other glides. And I'm going to show you another glide here that I think is going to be really cool as well. And everybody knows we're not really glide users, but we're slowly starting to find a spot for them and become more comfortable with them. So definitely wanted to show you guys this. We'll get this one in the water right away. And as of today, this is the only one that's been painted in this pattern. So Rusty, that's really cool. And the next one that he has here, this one is called the Crackhead. So it's very similar to the one that he had last year, but it's just got this dangly blade on the back that actually has some rattles in it. And again, just a cool looking bait. It's got this weird color shift. I think this one's called, if I look at my notes, Iceberg Perch. And just a cool looking pattern. Just got a lot of different colors of reds and purples that kind of come through on the clear coat there. So looking forward to trying those baits. Like I say, guys, glides have never been really our thing, but over the past couple of years, because we've been getting so many to try, we're starting to find some sweet spots that, just some baits that really work for us. So that's the first two I wanted to show you guys, Rusty's Customs. So the past couple of years, we have used some glides from Wicked Deadly Outdoors, and Steve over there makes an amazing glide. And this one here, I've had some success with, and they just run so effortless. You can run it with the reel handle. You can do some, pops with the tip of the rod. You can really get it moving. You can work it really slow. I like the little hatchet blades on the back. These are actually look like fish on them. But this has been a really super easy glide bait to use. And the new one that he come out with this year is called the Panfish Glider. And it's got adjustable weights in the bottom. He sent some weights with it, a couple different sizes, and got the little hatchet blade fish on the bottom, so that's going to definitely have some flash. And then this grub tail that he gets built up himself says Wicked Deadly Outdoors on the grub tail. But I just, again, it looks like a great bait fish profile. And I've seen some of his videos. They look really good in the water. They got really nice side-to-side roll. And I'm just thinking this is going to be one. I like that slightly bigger profile that we're looking forward to trying. And if I know Steve's stuff, this thing's going to be, work right out of the gate. So looking forward to that. And he also sent a bucktail. And just looking at this single skirt, single hook, and then offset blades, it doesn't look like much, but it's heavy. And he's got that double grub tail on the back. But what's unique about this is this part where the flash is tied is actually a lead head, and it's painted on the front and the back is lead. So it gives it a lot of weight. This, I'm going to guess you can really cast this a mile, and it's going to probably run just a touch deeper than a conventional like 7/8 style bucktail. It just feels, a little bit heavier than similar blades of similar size. So looking forward to trying this one. I think, in the wind or over really thick cabbage, this is probably one that you can cast a mile, and I think you can actually burn this one. And because of that little bit extra weight, it's probably going to hang in the water column just a little bit deeper, and then obviously slow rolling it a little bit slower. I think with that added weight, it's going to run a little bit deeper. So I just think that's a really cool addition to what it is we're going to be using this year. Sticking with bucktails, I got a message, it's quite a few months ago now, from Richard at HPM Bucktails, and he makes what he calls the rattle can bucktail. And he asked if we'd be willing to try them, and got little hatchet style blade on the back. And what's unique here is he's got, I'm not sure if you can see it here, but a weight that feels or looks like the can off of a rattle can of paint, but it's lead. I'm going to assume that's going to act kind of like a keel. I don't think that's going to spin in the water. The blade's not going to hit it. This looks like a BKK hook on here is what I'm guessing that is. And he sent kind of this blue silver Cisco pattern, the chartreuse and black, which you absolutely can't go wrong with in northwestern Ontario. And the other one here is a gold, black, and red, which I actually asked for that pattern. That's a pattern that we like, that we probably haven't used enough, but we've had some really cool success with it in the past. This one is slightly smaller than the other two. Smaller hook on the red one, and slightly smaller than that one. Cool looking bucktails. Again, I'm not sure if that weight there, has anything beyond just, it being there. I can't see how it's really going to affect the bucktail, but we'll know as soon as we get it in the water. So, Richard, thanks for sending those out. That was really cool. We'll try and get some underwater footage of those and see if they do anything different. And just of note, that is definitely a different style blade than, we're used to seeing on the back of a bucktail. So I'm curious to see what that actually does, being that it's attached on a swivel. All right, last but not least, a month or so back in this video right here, I talked to Max Kaufman of Cougar Baits, and we talked about his little jigs for muskies and pike. I don't have a lot of footage of this, but I'll try and include some from that video that we did. Got a little bit of footage from Max and some from Scaife as well. What we did talk about in that video was his new Floozy. So this is a spinner bait with a chatter blade attachment on it. Now, I know that TNA Tackle has done something similar where the chatterbait is in front of the spinner bait, but this is definitely unique, and the action of it looks really cool in the water. I'll include some footage here. A unique take on something that I'm kind of surprised nobody's really done something super similar. So he sent a couple of these to try, sent me a note here as well on how to tune it, and then sent a couple other, this is another one here, Floozy. And then there's a couple things here that I think are really cool. So I want to dig these out and show you guys. So these are his underspins. So underspin jig. It's definitely heavy. This is a black and purple. And again, in his video, these actually roll and walk through the water pretty nice. Almost like a castable fly, just a heavier version of it. And then he sent a couple here that look even heavier than this one. Perhaps they are the same. Yeah, I think they are the same weight. But cool looking underspin style jigs, and like that color right there looks really cool. Looking forward to trying these, and we didn't give these enough of a shot a couple years ago when we got the first kind of batch of them, and I just, I think we owe it to Max to try them a little bit more this time around. Really cool style of bait, and I know a lot of people talk about using smaller baits earlier in the year, and there is actually no reason why ripping this through the weeds, this isn't going to act like a small little fly. And I've taken some fly guys out musky fishing. They rip stuff smaller than this through the water and they get bit. So again, we owe it to Max to give these a try, and we will. So it's one of those things that it'll be kind of proven wrong in our, for us for not trying them earlier, because guaranteed they'll catch if we just give them, a little bit more time on the water. So that's what I got here in these couple packages. I wanted to show you guys that. I know it's not super exciting just to look at baits. We like to do that underwater footage, and we will get that, as soon as we can. We're just, it's a little bit late for spring up here, but because these were new and these were kind of on my table as they were, I just thought it'd be a good chance to get this out, and then you guys can kind of tell me which ones you really want to see, more in depth on. I know for me, I definitely want to get the 6 sucker and give this a really good shot this year, because I've seen a lot of guys with success on it. The bucktails, we're going to try, here and there, because we have so many bucktails. The hair jigs, we're going to spend a little bit more time on that. And for sure, this panfish glide is something that, talking with Steve, this is the kind of bait that we've been looking for our deeper shield lakes. So I think it's going to fit exactly where, I want to see a bait get down to and have that really cool glide action. So guys, that's what's in the box, and hopefully in a few weeks we'll have a little bit more for you guys and some more exciting footage. But for now, check out the video right here from a year ago where we talked about some of the baits that we were really looking forward to going into last season. And for now, 54 Bust is out of here. We'll catch you guys out on the water later.